Hello, everyone. I'm here to react about the Clemson Tennessee football game yesterday. And I was completely wrong. Call it fool's gold. And I'm okay. I can admit that. But a couple things I do want to address. Like on this channel, please, first of all, please like, subscribe, comment, hit the dingly bell, whatever all that stuff is. Please, because it's kind of pointless to do this without it getting out there. That's kind of the whole point, and I need your help. Takes 2 seconds. I won't bother you with any crazy stuff. I'm sure my content will be somewhat interesting. But anyway, here we go. The premise of this channel is for me to say what I feel the hardest take possible from being a movie producer and applying it to the world. So from things that I see in sports and actual films and everything. But this particular channel is based upon football, college football, and college sports. And if you know anything about me, I was a Division I athlete. I was on a national championship team. I did get balled out. My position was balled out. Someone literally, a wealthy family paid for the stadium, and me and another guy, we kind of got the boot. And that was the end of my career until I went and played semi-professional. So I am a former Division I college football player. So I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. I'm not saying I know everything. But let's get to Clemson football. The direction of Clemson football is not good. And it starts from the top. Do you have the right head coach? It's not because what he did for you in the past. What he did then, he was great for that moment in time. But is the leadership where it needs to be? I mean, the point is being like as a producer, or even if you work in anything, if you're the manager of the local gas station or any trade, if you're not getting the job done, you'll get replaced. It doesn't matter that you had top sales in 2019. It's 2023, bro. Or it will be here in a few hours. By tomorrow morning, it's going to be 2023. And that season was 5 years ago. Going on it. It's 2018 season, 2019 the game was played, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But the biggest problem with Clemson is, let's go with 4 key elements. Number 1, Dabo's not hungry anymore. He's stubborn and he won't listen. Okay? 2, your offensive coordinators literally couldn't coach for a D3 team. I mean, in the Power 5, they should never be that. And plus, they're making $1.1 million a year, or close to it, close to $1 million a year. And that's what you get. You pay $10 million a year, and you get you pay a guy $10 million a year to get him to hire guys for $100 million. I mean, for $1 million, that just suck. You spend $15 million a year probably on these coaches, and this is the product you get. I would fire everyone. I would fire Dabo Swinney. And the reason why is because I think from a studio perspective or a producer perspective, you're literally, for the cost of money, giving me a shit product, and that doesn't work for me. And the thing about Dabo not being hungry is you have, number 1, the Dabo not being hungry. You have a guy that literally is an employee of the state of South Carolina who is literally telling everyone in the state of South Carolina, he doesn't care what you think. He's not in it for you. He doesn't care because God gave him a check for $100 million and it makes him better than you. No, he's not willing to listen. He's not willing to do this. He says this consistency thing. The Clemson program is walking off of a cliff. Don't let anyone lie to you unless he makes changes. Do I believe he could? Possibly. Do I think Dabo's a good guy? Yeah, but we all have our faults, and sometimes I think he can be an arrogant jackass. I can too sometimes, but I really try not to be. I think he's earned it more than I have to have the right to be that, but at the same time, don't be that. Don't do it. You know, the nepotism. Your son does not need to be playing wide receiver in the beginning of a fourth quarter game in the Orange Bowl. You don't need to call his number on a fake punt to lose all the momentum for your team. It's like literally, it's like, what are you thinking, dude? Literally, what are you thinking? What is this? Is this the freaking Hallmark Channel? I can tell you that plot, and guess what? It doesn't work in reality. It really doesn't. How many Hallmark stories have you ever actually said that are literal, real events? It's all phony. It's all bullcrap. So, number 1 and number 2, we got that out of the way. So let's see. Let's go. What was my number 2? Okay. I know number 1 was Dabo's not hungry. 2, the assistant coaches suck. 3, someone put up a graphic earlier. There was like 20 to 30 some odd recruits that either had retired from the sport or transferred in the past few years from Clemson. Dabo has supplemented that with nothing. Except for Blair Bryant's great-great-grandson. I'm so glad I can get him into coaching. What does that do for football? What does that do for a team? Nothing. You have no playmakers. You have no game changers. Literally. You don't have a T. Higgins. You don't have a Nuke Hopkins. You don't have a Sammy Watkins. Turner? Turner, really? The guy's best attribute, he's a good player. He's a good receiver, but he's not even Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow is a great player, by the way. But if I'm on the other team and I see T. Higgins, Megatron 2.0 down there, and for the Chargers, William Sr., Nuke Hopkins, or, some of these guys, you think I'm looking at Cole Turner and I'm scared of him? No. I look back at what was there. Those guys, that's scary. And those guys, some of them were on the field at the same time. But you have like Cole Turner, and then you have you're putting your son out there with Cole Turner, and you're expecting them to block guys that actually have muscles, that are grown men. They're doesn't work. Offensive coordinators are completely inept. The defensive coordinator looks like Peter Griffin, and he sucks. 12-yard cushions. 12-yard cushions and rushing 3. What are you doing? You're giving the game away. We bend, but we don't break. Well, you fucking broke, you dumbass. You broke. You broke hard. Now, sorry for my language. I don't really care. I'm not getting paid anyway. Don't want the personal attack on the guy, but dude, you do look like Peter Griffin. You kind of do look like Peter Griffin with autism. And that's pretty harsh. That is pretty harsh. But it's called the hard take for a reason. But you can't do that. And your offensive coordinator literally could not coach Rosamond High School in Transylvania County, North Carolina. And I think they won a couple of games. And I think their coach that they just fired is better than Streeter. Because Streeter literally says, well, this is the offense that we've been running. We don't game plan for nobody. What we do is Clemson can only beat Clemson because Clemson, if you execute the Clemson offense, then we beat ourselves if we don't execute. That's the key. No, wrong, dumbass. It's simple to look. It's called the NFL. Madden games. Anything you can see that you can counteract certain things with certain things. So if a defensive coordinator sits there and does his job, he can mitigate what you're trying to do on offense. They did that with blitzing Cade Klubnik all night long, and you continually trying to run RPOs and play action passes. You don't have time for that, retard. I know you, and you have a running back, Maffa, who's ripping off 6 yards a carry or something like that, and you got we're going to give you the ball 6 times all game. Yeah, you're killing them, but, whatever. And the best play for Clemson is drawing pass interferences. Plain and simple. Why? Why don't Dabo Swinney go in the portal, get some studs with speed at wide receiver, bring in some playmakers, raise these guys up, put these sorry guys that are so young, put them in the freaking crock pot you talk about, and then make them great players. Start recruiting guys that help you win, because that is your number one job. Your number one job is to win, and don't give me that ACC shit, because ACC sucks, and we all know it. I digress a little bit and relax. But to come back, the last thing that is really killing Clemson is simply the fact that Dabo will not be the better man and keep his principles and take someone and mold them into a good man while winning football with them, but taking the easy road and saying, I'm getting an academic All-American. I mean, this is not Duke. This is not Harvard. This is Clemson University. You are supposed to win and dominate in football. You make money for the school. That's the point. And Clemson made the huge mistake of giving this guy a huge contract. A huge $100 million contract, $110 million contract. I understand what you did, but you're slipping. You're slipping, man. And the fact that you can't see the fact that you are slipping. 2 years, no college football playoff. 2 years, horrible offense. I mean, it's been going on a little bit longer than that. 3 years, poor player development. You won't make a change. And you are calling everyone else stupid. Fine. You're rich. But I have a response to that.